Sound is on the air, and we're so awesomely blessed to have you right here along with us. Thank you for allowing us into your homes. Yes, this is Thursday night. We are in the month of September now. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Heineken. You know, before we go any further with this program, we do want to indeed say thank you so much for your support, especially during our Summer Resonate series, where pretty much every Thursday and every Sunday night was just packed to the max with awesome, great word from our entire staff, including some special guests. Also, do want to send a special shout out, a special thank you to the Five Rivers Band. Excuse me. I know that's easy for me to say, right? Special thank you to the Five Rivers Band for performing alongside the Resonate Praise and Worship team. Thank you guys so much. And we do want to remind you, by the way, please look up Five Rivers Band on Facebook. Like them. Hey, we encourage you that if they have upcoming events, live events coming up, we encourage you to go check them out. It's well worth it. Hey, thank you guys so much. Also do want to remind you a little bit of a special programming note coming up. Will be later on right before we go off the air tonight. So please stay tuned for that. Now, let's get to tonight, shall we? Success. Yeah, it's a very crazy word, isn't it? What really does define success? Is it the dream home that you wanted? Is it the dream car or the dream vehicle that you want? Is it the money, the fame, being popular, being recognized for the good work that you do? Is that how you define success? There's many various ways on which we can define success. But in tonight's episode, our senior lead pastor, Brian Adams, just to kick off this fall edition of Resonate Sound, is going to be dealing with one word tonight. And we encourage you to please get that highlighter, get your pen, get your paper. Hey, grab your favorite snack, sit on down. Because tonight, we're going to give you some biblical tools, all concerning one word: successful. Pastor Brian, it's all yours. Let's go resonate.
We know how to get into His presence when we need Him, but we don't know how to let Him into our presence in the moments that we don't. We don't offer Him everything. We don't make time. We don't give Him the area that He needs to live and breathe. That makes sense? But when you got a test coming up, you listen to me, kids. When life's getting rough and bills are late, hello, you guys can touch God. But why ain't we touching God when we don't have a need? And that's what that meant to me. He's like, man, you know how to get in my presence, but you're not allowing me in yours. So I got to thinking about that, and that got to moving with me. So I want to talk about success today. Are you with me? Now, this sermon won't be a jump and a shout. It's going to be something that's going to move your heart because it's going to make you check where you are. It's going to teach you that you need to be doing some things different. Come on. But God's going to show you about success today because that's really what everyone wants. Who wants to be successful? Don't you want to be successful in your music? Come on. And we're all that way. We want to be successful, but sometimes the way that we get success is something that is so simple and it's something that's so easy and we miss it. So let's talk about some things for a minute. And this is cool. You're going to love this story once I get to it. So you got to understand something. Behind every great story, there's always another story. Right? So in other words, what you're going through that's so bad is the story that you're too busy reading, and you're not reading the great story that's in the middle of that story. You're reading the story of misery, the story of not being able to, the story of breakdown, the story of I can't make it, or I'm too young, or I keep getting grounded. Got three of them that are like dunked their heads. Amen. Pastor, don't know your grandma. But you're so busy reading the story that's not no good that you don't read the story that's beautiful on the inside. See, rarely does success come all at once. Success comes with hard work, but most of the time, success comes with discipline. Are you hearing me? Successful people often joke that they spent years becoming an overnight success, but that's true. What we don't realize is, and I want you to write this down, what we don't realize is that it's the things no one sees that results in the things that everyone wants. That's good. You want me to do it again? Some of you are like, do it again, Pastor. What many of us don't realize is that it's the things no one sees that results in the things everyone wants. How many of you like to have something spiritually or something that you're working, thrive, a career, come on, right? And the problem is we do everything we can where everyone can see it to try to get there, but it's the things that no one can see that makes you successful. Okay? And I want to talk about something that's awesome today. I want to talk about the prophet Daniel. He's the perfect example of this. He really is. See, we know a lot about Daniel because we're going to say, he's the one that was in the lion's den, right, kids? We all know about that, and he used the lions for a pillow. But the key is he does something here that no one sees and that we preach over all the time and we don't think nothing about it. Preachers will use it for a highlight, but we don't talk about the hidden things no one sees. Are you with me? See, I want you to understand something. I want you to get this. I want to refresh your memory. There was a King Darius, and King Darius was the king over all of Persia. Are you with me? So you got to understand, as the king grew, everyone said the king grew, he had 120 what we would call governors. They were oversights, right? And they were over that land. Can you pick, how many of you want to be a governor? Oh, yeah, see, you're smart. Amen. So he had 120 people he was governor over everything. And the cool thing was, without knowing why, all of a sudden we know that Daniel become one. And not only did Daniel become one of the 120 governors, all right, I know it's different, but I'm trying to where you understand, all right? He was one of the 120 governors over all of Persia. The next thing you find out is all of a sudden the king starts to find favor with him. The king starts to start giving him promotions. And you'll find out, this is so cool, Sister Kathy, that at one point in time there was 120 that was over all of Persia, right? Over the counties, right? Government states, right? You with me? Right? Then all of a sudden, king found so much favor in Daniel that he got rid of 119 of them and put him over everything. Now that's powerful. Why would a king put someone else over his land? And what happened? How did he get that overnight success? You know, we don't ever really read nothing about what made Daniel successful. Most of us know that Daniel was a prophet, and to be honest with you, about 60% didn't know he's a prophet. Most of you just know that he was in the lion's den. But what made him so successful? You know, the 120 straps, that's what they were called. That's kind of funny, but they're governors, amen. You know, he was so successful in running his little area. This is just like God. That now God's like, you know what? I'm going to give you favor with the king, and I'm going to make you ruler over all of it. Although there's a king that rules it, I'm going to rule it through you. That's beautiful, man. See, sometimes we're too busy trying to make our name and trying to become something, but you don't realize God puts you under it where you don't take the... Everyone wants to be a pastor sometimes, and everyone wants to be a great leader, but you don't know the slack that the great leader hits. When people leave, and I posted this the other day, and it caused a hornet's nest, but it's a great hornet's nest. Sometimes when people leave, they'll say that the leader wasn't no good, he was a false teacher, he was a false prophet, blah, 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 blah. But could it be that it's the church members that leave wasn't faithful to the church? We're power hungry. I posted it. Check it out. You'll love all the angry faces I'm getting. But you check this out. God said, all right, Daniel, I need you to run the country, but I don't need you to have the title, because if you have the title, you'll get all the blame. You'll get all the fame. So Daniel was really like, you know what? I have no problem to having success undercover, because I'll do what God tells me, and then no one can attack my God, because they'll throw the anger at the king that don't believe. So sometimes we're looking to be promoted for a title when God's like, I got you right where you're going to be successful. But there's got to be another key. What made Daniel so successful? Ain't that kind of weird? So one question, what made him success? What was it? And then why was he so successful? Here's another question. Why did the king find favor with him? Why did the king respect him? You know, if you think about it, we get to looking at questions so many times in our lives that we don't even look for the answers. We're too busy just asking why. You notice in the story of Daniel, he never asked why. He just kept on doing his hidden thing that no one could see. That's powerful. He had discipline. I'm going to teach it in a minute. I'm going to get to some verses. Y'all relax. But think about this. He was so successful that he became one of the 120. And then, if I'm not mistaken, roughly within a couple of years' time, he became the ruler over it all. But you never heard him politicking. You never heard that he was great. People loved him. You never heard that he done anything out. In fact, he's not even in the lion's den yet. But God keep blessing him. But why? Why was he so successful? Makes you wonder, don't it? See, we all know, if you really study this, Daniel made one decision. He made one choice. In other words, he started one habit that changed his whole story. One habit. He was disciplined in one area. Can I teach? Some of you are so worried about, listen, I want you to be Bible scholars. By the time we get done, I want every one of you to be the best disciples you'll ever be. I believe that I'm looking at kings. I believe I'm looking at queens, princes. Come on, priests. Come on. I see it. Just because you don't ain't my fault. But there's got to be a time that we got to be good at one thing. Daniel was good at one thing. Ain't that awesome? So check this out. As you might expect, being good at one thing, or Daniel being put over all the country, all the other leaders got mad. Ain't that funny? When someone gets a little successful, everyone just freaks out. Come on, somebody. But you find out that they got jealous. Everyone will say jealous. And when they got jealous, the story continues about Daniel. Here we go. To Daniel 6, 4 through 5. This is so cool. Then the presidents and the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. Ain't that funny? You know, people can't just leave you alone. They always have to find fault with the kingdom. Yeah. Come on, somebody. Hello. But they could not find one occasion nor fault. Hold up. They couldn't find nothing wrong with Daniel. But you guys look in the mirror every day and you find multiple things wrong with you. Daniel didn't find nothing wrong with himself because he made one habit. Not a bad habit. I'll teach that in a minute. But he was so confident in that one thing that one thing made everyone else look at him, and they couldn't find a fault. They couldn't find a hiccup. They couldn't find a mistake. Ain't that awesome? It's really awesome. Think about this. Nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. So first off, they know there wasn't nothing wrong with the way he led. And even the people knew that he was a godly man because they couldn't find no error or fault in him. But I want to teach you something. The one thing that he did gave him favor with man and in the land, in his workplace, in his aroma, in his life. And also that one thing made him errorless, faultless on the inside. One thing. That's beautiful. As Christians, we get so caught up trying to be well at multiple things that we make ourselves sick and we don't do nothing but find shortcomings. I need to read more. I need to study more. Yes, you do. But you can't read to the point that you get so frustrated that you're not even learning what you're reading. And what good is it reading if you ain't a praying? And what good if you're praying if you ain't never getting in the Spirit? You got to be good at one before you can be good at the others. Hello. I'll give you a crazy example. I'm the baby out of the family. If you couldn't tell, I'm the spoilt brat. But when we go to Grandpa and Uncle Robert and them's farm, they milk cows. This is going to be a great service today. It's so quiet. And they milk cows. Now, I didn't get to go straight up and get to start milking cows, although it ain't hard. You know what I'm talking about. You just put the little things on and there's the milk. But my first job, you know what my first job was? I had to scrape the lot. I had to push the manure. Kind of sounds like me when I first started pastoring. Had to take the little church and had to push the manure. Go that way when I took my second church. Anyway, come on, what I'm getting at is sometimes we're so busy not realizing the job that looks like the crappy job is the job that kept us where we were a grade A milk barn. Because I couldn't just halfway scrape the lot. In between each milking, the lot would have to be totally scraped and cleaned. You know what my second job was? I had to clean the barn. I never got to do the cool things because I was too busy doing the things that no one else would recognize or even see. Too busy doing the things that no one else got the praise for. Reminds me of my Aunt Dort. I mean, she probably don't weigh 80 pounds, but she could out carry all the grain and everything. She'd get buckets, 5-gallon buckets full to the max and not spill one bucket. And then everyone would leave and she'd be like, Brian, you going to help me? And we were taught that you didn't tell your elders no. I think we need to go back to that. So she'd hand me a brush, so with bleach and hot water, I'd rub down the side of the doors in the barn, knowing that in 5 hours we're going to milk again. But I did it without hesitation. And I didn't understand why I had to do it because, hey, I'm the chosen one. Come on. But that taught me something now that I look back that I didn't understand as a kid. God was preparing me and teaching me to do the things that no one else sees that makes everyone else look good. Think about this for a minute. You go to the next verse. It said, then said these men, we will not find any what? Occasion against this Daniel. I love how they done it. Against this Daniel. We're not going to find nothing. That's pretty powerful. That you love God so much that your enemies stop messing with you because they know they can't find nothing. Hello? See, some of you are so bound by this, that, and everything that you think everything's against you, but really what you're doing, you're working against yourself. It says this, we shall not find any occasion against Daniel. Against this Daniel. And I love this, and I've done it different than it is on the screen. Except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. You ever notice that every attack that comes after you, really, even in your job site or anything, is attacking your God? Even when you don't get promoted, you're going to say, well, they never said I didn't get the promotion because I believe in God. But you'll feel like this. God, why didn't I get it? Lord, why didn't you? And then now you're going against your God. I'm teaching better than you're shaking your heads. I don't expect no amens, but you can do that. But think about that for a minute. When things don't go your way, you always ask, oh, God, but why? Why didn't this? And then what you didn't get because you think you earned it, you blame on God. So they're like, hey, we can't do nothing to him unless we attack his relationship with his God. We ain't going to be able to stop him no other way. You ever think that might be what's hurting you? Is you're so caught up in looking at everything else and not happy with doing behind the scenes that when it don't go your way, you blame God. Perfect attack. Let's not attack the man. Let's attack where his heart is. Hello? That's why your family gets attacked. That's why when your finances ain't right, this is going to be good. That's why when your finances ain't right, God, why don't I have no money? And God's like, because you gave 10% to the movie theater, 20% to this and that, and you forgot about me. See, the 10% in tithing is the hidden thing no one sees. Come on, somebody. That's good stuff. So here we are, Daniel, man, he's not doing nothing wrong. We ever say, no wrong, no fault. He's perfect. But he don't want to be famous, but he's famous. He don't want to be well known, but he's well known. He ain't working extra hard to get noticed at work. He's just got one habit, and he's faithful with it, and everyone notices it. I'm not talking about your cigarette smoke and whatnot. Relax today. I'm talking about they're not doing the one thing no one sees that gives a Christian his success. So check this out. See, Daniel was honest. Everyone say honest, trustworthy, dependable in everything he did. Are you? Are you honest even with yourself? Are you trustworthy with yourself, with your money, with your income, with your wife? Or let's just get to the point. Are you trustworthy when it comes to God and His calling, His church? Are you dependable? Or only you do it when you get praise, or you only do it when it's your event? Or you only study when it's your night to preach? See, Daniel was faithful, trustworthy, and dependable no matter what happened, but no matter what happened, he was dependable. It's like a good belt. Keep you from shaming yourself. Come on, somebody. Dependable, trustworthy. That's awesome. Check this out. This is awesome. So his opponents decided there was only one way that they could trap Daniel. Now, everyone say trap. I believe it's in 2 Peter. It tells you to watch the snare of the devil. What you're going through is a trap. Poke your neighbor, wake them up, and say, what you're really going through is a trap. It's not even really against you. It's against your God. It's this something trying to get you to blame God because you didn't do something behind the scenes. It's just the trap trying to get you upset because you're not being recognized, or you don't think you're getting the acknowledgement that you should be getting. It's just a trap. Funny thing about a trap is, if you don't trick the trigger, it don't fall on you. We used to do rabbit boxes. You know what I'm talking about? We got in trouble for shooting the guns in the city. Don't ask me. We was just growing up hillbilly, and Dad moved me to a town. So they you got to have rabbit traps. So Danny Sparks and my dad built rabbit traps. Now, Danny Sparks, a little smarter than my dad, because my dad built my first rabbit box. It was 3 foot, and it was all wood, man. I hated it. I couldn't carry it nowhere. I actually put it on the skateboard to push it down the hill to get where I wanted. Danny Sparks, man, made his out of wire, and we go trap them rabbits. But you know what was bad about it? If you didn't hit that trigger, it would never trap that rabbit. My dad made my box so big, if it wasn't a big rabbit, it wasn't never triggering. And I'd sit there and watch that little rabbit go around that post, eat that stuff, and then lead him silly stuff back out, and it would never fall. Danny made his trap so small, the rabbit never made it to the food, and it'd lock him up. So I just started shooting mine, but that's another story. What I'm getting at is sometimes we don't realize that we're walking into a trap. But Daniel has one thing that he does well that let him know that traps are coming. And even though what he done well was going to be what was the trap set for, he's like, I'm not giving that up for nothing. Come on, somebody. We're going to teach on that. So I want you to understand, they're like, a trap, we got to trap him. We can't find no fault in him. Listen to me. Can't find no fault in him, so we got to trap him. See, the devil can't find no fault in some of you, but he'll set a trap that makes you fall for it. Because he knows your heart. He knows you're trying to do good. He knows that you really love God. Come on. So he's like, I can't really get them to make a mistake, so let me trap them. Let me put them right here so they'll trip up. How many of you in a trap? That's pretty powerful that the devil even knows he can't mess with you. Hello? So he sets a trap so you mess with yourself. Your mind is a trap. I'm not good enough. This ain't never going to get no better. They're never going to use me. You ever notice the traps that are in your mind are talking about big things, but it never mentions the little things that no one sees? No one ever recognizes me. No one ever thinks I'm pretty. I'm never going to make this test. I'm always going to be a failure. I'm never going to be able to be promoted. I'm never. Right? And then we get mad at God. God, why'd you let it happen? And God's like, hey, I told you to beware of snares. I told you to beware of temptation. You're mad at me, but you fell for the trap. The sin. So check this out. We got to understand something sometimes. That the devil set a trap, that don't mean we need to go for it. And we don't need to fall in it. Right? See, in other words, they needed to devise a plan. That'd be the best word. Devise a plan that would involve his faith in God. Devil ain't really worried about you having a good job or not. He's more worried about destroying your faith in God. See, they knew he wouldn't do anything wrong. Everyone say they knew. They knew he wouldn't do nothing wrong, so they were going to have to go back to him into a spiritual corner. In other words, they're going to have to back him in a spiritual corner to make him feel like he was trapped. Ain't that how the devil's messing with you? Some of you trapped in your own mind, trapped in your finance, trapped in your way of escape, trying to leave something so you can get out of the mess you're in, not realizing the mess you're in is what's protecting you from the mess that's outside the door. You'll find this in Daniel 6, 6, and 7. This is cool. And these presidents and priests assembled together to the king and said this unto him. I love how they done that. King Darius, live forever. Ain't it funny how people that really are out to get you will brown nose even the one that they're using to get you? Hello, next verse, please. And all the presidents and all the kings and the governors. Now they got the governors involved. Well, wait, there was only 120 of them. He was one. That means the 119 that got fired now are involved. Ain't it funny that when they're setting a trap for you, it just keeps steamrolling? It keeps multiplying. Oh, come on, where's my church at now? Now they got counselors involved. Now they got captains involved. You know, come on, anointing ain't the only thing that doubles. Hello. And they consulted together to establish the royal statute and make it firm to agree that whosoever shall ask this petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be what? Cast into. So in other words, let me give you Arkansas lingo. They wanted everyone just to pray to the king and not to know God. Knowing that that's how he got promoted. Hold up. See, the thing that Daniel done, you listen to me over there? The thing that Daniel done that was successful was he prayed 3 times a day, no matter what. You know, we don't know when he started that, Tanner. We don't know when he started it. We don't know if it's months. We don't know if it's years. We don't know if it's decades. We just know that no matter what, he prayed 3 times a day. He prayed 3 times a day when no one even had a clue what he was doing. But it's kind of funny that the enemy knew what his strength was. You ever notice the enemy only goes after your strength? He ain't after your weakness because he's already got you there. That's good. Come on. So check this out. So they said, hey, we're going to make a decree. We're going to make a law. And if the king signs it, it has to be followed through. See, here's something most people don't understand. If the king signs it, even the king has to obey it. So they're like, hey, you can't pray to nobody but the king. The problem with us is we still ain't praying to nobody. We're not even praying to our king. And that's why we're not successful. It's because we locked out the one little thing that no one can see. We don't want to pray no more. And when we do pray, it's, Lord, help me, Lord. Give me this, Lord. Give me that, Lord. What happened to just praying, just being in these presence? Go back to my Houston thing. I'm doing this 3 times a day thing because I got to make sure he's in my presence, not just me going to his when I have a need. I need to pray to get my mind clear that he's always in my. Oh, come on. So can we talk about this? This means that Daniel wasn't too busy to pray. This means he could still do his job, but he's still praying 3 times a day. This means it didn't matter how bad the country was being run or how bad the state he was over was going through. It didn't matter what was happening. The prophet was praying 3 times a day. You're saying, Pastor, are you telling me pray 3 times a day? I'd be happy if you just prayed every day. You know, you're all looking for success, and we're looking for a way to move up, and we're looking for a way to grow the church, and you're looking for a way to get known in your ministries and get known and this to happen. But do you pray on a constant basis? What are you doing behind the scenes that no one can see? Just saying. Kids, are you praying? When you got that test you don't know what to do with? Or are you praying? Or are you whining about it? Are you praying over everything? Are you taking time out in school and pray? Hang on, let me pick on them. Want me to pick on them for a while? Adults, are you taking time out and praying? You think that God had the king give you lunch breaks for you just to eat lunch? Did you not realize that everything comes from heaven and it ain't about a lunch break, fatty? It's about you taking a prayer break. Someone got offended. I called him fatty. But you're spiritually obese. Hello, don't get mad. Forgive me. Like I don't know. I pray. But think about this. How many times do we actually, you might pray before you go to sleep and then you fall asleep while you're praying. Or when the electric bill's behind, oh, Lord, you got to bless me with some finances for this bill. And God's like, I'm waiting on you to bless me with some tithes. But some of you are like, I'll pray 7 times a day. Yeah. Bless this chicken nugget. Bless this, bless that. But are you talking to him just so he can be in your presence? You know how to get in his presence. But when's the last time you just let him be in yours? When's the last time you just took a prayer break and say, God, I don't need nothing, but I just want to be in your presence right here. Right? Lord, I want to do what no one sees. The Bible even tells you when you pray to go to a closet, go to a hidden spot. But most of you pray your biggest prayers when someone asks you to pray over someone's food, and then you preach like Reuben does for 7 minutes when I'm trying to eat my steak. Brother so-and-so, you pray over the food, bless it where we can eat. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we thank you today for this, and we thank you for that. Lord, thank you for the tires on my car. We thank you for that. I'm over here like, bless my food. Bless my food. I've even been in restaurants when they got done praying, I had to go, you never bless my food. Oh, yeah, but Lord bless the food. You could have done that right off the bat. But what I'm getting at is, and I'm being real, I want you guys to understand, kids and adults, the reason you're not successful is because you're not doing the thing that no one can see. You're struggling in areas that can only be took care of in the secret places. Are you with me? Come on, are you with me, church? Come on, check this out. So everyone gets all crazy. Now listen, this is funny to me, and this part is where it reminds me of some pastors. You find out all of a sudden that the king liked the sound of everyone wanting to pray to him. Sound like some ministers and some pastors I know. They think they're just it because everyone praising them. Yeah, that's another sermon. We won't go there. But the king liked the sound of it. So what did he do? He went against what's made him successful. Because what was making him successful was what Daniel was doing in the secret place. You want to know why your kids ain't successful and why they struggle? Because you're not praying in the secret place. The reason the king was doing so good is because Daniel was praying over the country for him. Look at what prayer did. Prayer didn't only promote him, prayer made everything good that the king touched that didn't believe. We're going to show you that in a minute. Check this out. Let's go to Daniel 10 and 11. Y'all with me? So the plan was to trap Daniel, and it was set in motion. Everyone say set in motion. That's a scary thought when the trap's in motion. That means it's set. It means everything's working against you. Daniel 6:10. And now when Daniel knew that the writings were signed, I love that. Okay, can we really teach? You know what this means? They had that meeting with the king, with all the councils that wasn't involved, with all the captains that were never involved, with the 119 that all got fired. They had that meeting all without Daniel. And when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he was like, I guess I need to go do what I do in secret, and I guess I need to do it where everyone can see it now. Did you notice he didn't wait? You notice some of you wait knowing that the trouble's coming. Come on, somebody. And you don't even pray about it until you're halfway deep in it. Oh, I can handle it. Okay. It'd be like me trying to juggle these pumpkins. I won't do it, Pam. Well, I'm going to, though. But it'd be like me trying to juggle knowing I can't juggle. If you know you can't do it, don't do it. But here he is. Check this out. He finds out that something's signed. He knows without a shadow of a doubt it's against him. But he didn't wait 2 weeks. He didn't wait 5 minutes. He didn't wait next month. He didn't call every member in the church to get them to pray for you and then don't even pray for yourself. They didn't ham the pastor, you got to pray for me at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't go to sleep. Because Daniel was so faithful to God, he was honest, dependable, that he's like, I don't need everyone praying for me because I have a personal relationship with God. I talk to him every day, 3 times a day. In fact, some days 4, 5, and 6. But no matter what, I'll at least call on him 3 times a day. And I don't ask for nothing. I just want him in my presence instead of me being in his. So Daniel's like, I don't need to call up the church board. I don't need to call grandma. I just need to go talk to my father. Check out what he does. Soon as it was signed. Not later, as soon. Can you picture that? Because for it to be signed means now they finally asked him into the courts. And when he finally got to the courts, like, apparently we're having a meeting because you're fired, and you're fired. But you all get back on staff. We're back on staff because of this. That's signed? Okay. And they were waiting on him to have a breakdown. They were waiting on him to freak out. Boy, I know some people like that, waiting on me to have a breakdown and freak out. Ain't happened yet, honey. It ain't happened, Buttercup. I'm going down. Anyway, baby, you got to go move on. Don't chase that rabbit. Come on, somebody. But in reality, man, that's how we are. When something goes wrong, we want, did you know what happened? We're the nosiest bunch of people there. You can't tell a Christian nothing. They'll call and ask other people if it's true. You'll confide in one of them, the next thing you know, they'll be calling your whole family. Hey, is this really true about them? Yep. Who are you? I attend their church. Well, don't you have the gift of the disturbing of the spirit? If you pray to God a little bit, you know if it's true or not. But, since you ain't close to God, go call somebody and get some gossip going. Anyway. I can tell who your teacher's been. Come on. There's no Pamela light you up and stab you in the back of the head. Come on, look at them. They're all like Duncan right now. But check this out. He didn't wait. Listen. He didn't give the devil any time to add any more tricks. He went to his house. Now, I love that. You know what that means? That means God was head of his house. He walked in, he didn't start telling the servants, he didn't tell nobody. He walked into his house, he went to come on somebody, I'm going to preach this. He went to his window and he began to open up his chambers. Some of us need to open up our chambers and let God handle our circumstance. Let God be in our presence. We're always trying to get in his when we have a need, but why not just open up the chambers and let God in our presence? He just opened it up. He goes, you know what? They don't want me praying. They're fixing to find out what I've been doing in the secret. God says if you seek him in the hidden places, he rewards you openly. So he understood that. Then he was like, God fixing to open me up. Earl, God's fixing to do something. So he goes in there. Like, listen, I don't think he done this. Well, he might have. I don't know. But if it had been me, I'd have been like, you want to see me pray? Because I was in Houston, God told me, get your boldness back. He goes, they robbed you of that, and you got hurt because you thought that was what was running people off. But God said, no, your anointing was what was running people off. Well, pray now! I probably yelled at you. What the prophets to pray? Sign something that keeps me from talking to my God? I'm praying. Okay, don't say that. That's Pastor Brian's version. So he opened up the windows. Right? Now listen, he opens it up towards the city, God's city. And then check about this. He kneeled down his knees 3 times a day. And he prayed. And he gave thanks before his God. And he did. But here's the catch where we miss it when we preach it. A day. It says, day. So that means he done it a full day before they decided to even do anything to him. Because he was doing it in the secret spot. They never knew what he was doing. They just knew he had a relationship with God. And so he had to do it 3 times for someone to catch him. He'd been praying the whole time. And the neighbor's like, yeah, he does it every day. We can hear him through the walls. But you guys never look up towards heaven. Hey, party. So they run and go tell the king, right? Y'all know this. Come on now, be with me. So he knew about it. He knew that he wasn't going to be allowed to pray for 30 days. He just knew. Now here's where everything gets crazy. They arrested him because of what he done in the secret place. They come and got him. They're like, man, we getting you. We're going to throw you where the big cats are. We ain't talking about a family-sized Kit Kat. You know what I'm saying? We're going to throw you to the big cats. You're going to die. If you study that, they starve them cats. So where we think that it's a big ordeal and how long? You got bets? 3 minutes? 2 hours? No. Them cats, when they know that's going on, as soon as that thing was signed, scholars say that they stopped feeding the cats. Dude, you don't feed me for an hour, you be hearing me roar. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Right? So we're not talking about some cats that eat some catnip. We're talking about cats starving. And then they throw him down in there, right? We all know this. Come on. And then the king commanded that they brought Daniel. Listen, this is a big, long read, and I want to do this. The king commanded that they bring Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now that the king spoke and said unto Daniel, now I love this. Now listen, this is how you know where to go? Check this out. Go to 16 for me. That's where I'm at. 16 through 23. What? Man, God on time. Come on. And the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now, the king spoke and said unto Daniel, no, listen. This proves that the king knew that Daniel had favor with God. He says, hey, thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Now, hold up. You mean the king that loved him, the king that got all the blessings because Daniel done all the dirty work behind the scene? He knew that his God was going to deliver him, but at the same time, he was going to throw him in there anyway? That's somebody got some faith in your God. You ever wonder why people come up and ask you to pray, or why random people, some of you, listen, this is how God's telling me, some of you don't understand why people call you to pray or just show up with something, because they think you're doing something behind the scenes. And they believe that even if they got thrown in the den, your God's going to deliver them. But the problem is they don't know you ain't been doing the things that no one can see. So here's this king. I know your God going to take care of you. Well, I love you too, king. Thank you for not throwing me in the den. Hello? Come on. Right? So he throws him in the den. Now listen, he's saying, hey, I know your God's going to save you. I know he will. I know he's going to take care of it. But now here's the catch. And here's the part that a lot of us, we think that they could see it. But next verse says, a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den. And the king filled it with its nick. In other words, you put his wax mark on it. Of the kings and the lords. That purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his place. Now, let's talk. Can we talk? That king's probably never prayed or never done anything before. But the king's like, I need Daniel. And what made Daniel successful? The very thing that I threw him in the den. So for the first time, the king, went to his palace, I love this, and he passed the night, fasting? Neither were any instruments, nothing was done, because sometimes back then they would do instruments to entertain other spirits. Come on. And he slept and went from him. He found his secret place for the first time. So that means maybe the reason you're going through your trial is because what you're going through is going to teach the youth, or the next king next to you, the next priest next to you. It's going to teach them and show them that they need to find a secret place. Yes. And that completes Romans 8 and 28. For all things work for the good of them that love God, according to his purpose. See, when I got saved, I don't have a purpose for my life. I live God's purpose. Think about this. Here's this king. You can go to the next verse for me. Here's this king. Check this out. Y'all with me? The next morning, the king rose very early in the morning. Now, kings don't get up. Come on, somebody. And he went in haste to the den of the lions. Listen to this. This is so cool. He believed so strongly in what another man of God was doing that he only fasted for a little bit of the night, prayed for a little bit until he fell asleep. But he had so much confidence in Daniel's God because of how God was shown through Daniel that he didn't waste no time, Brother Ed. I ran like a dork, I know. I was running like Haley. You'll be okay. I'm playing. So he gets there, Brother Ed. Picture this. He gets there, and he's excited. He's excited because he's thinking, I'm going to teach this. He's excited because he's like, man, this is the first time I've ever really gave God anything. And I need him to save the one that taught me. I need my connection back with God. I don't need the one that brought me to him to be gone. I got to know he's okay. I got to know. Isn't that powerful? Why can't we do that with the lost? Why can't we just run to him and say, hey, you're okay. You're going, come on, somebody. Anyway, and he came to the den and he cried, I love this, with a loud voice unto Daniel. And the king spoke and said to Daniel, oh, Daniel. Now listen, man, you got to picture this. This is the king. He's all fancy. Come on. He's all better than everyone else. He has the title that everyone else wants. But he's going to the man that really runs the show. Because God's blessing him behind the scenes. Oh, Daniel. Can you hear that mug running through his castle? Come on. Give me an oh, Daniel. Come on. Yell it. Yep. Button, yell it. Oh, Daniel. Sign it. Do something. Amen. But anyway, he runs up there and he starts yelling, oh, Daniel. Daniel. That's crazy. Oh, Daniel. Not Daniel. Oh. Oh. My connection to God. And I love this. Servant of the living God. Hold up. Hold up. Servant of who? The living God. Oh, Daniel, you're the servant of the living God. I fasted and I got to know him last night. This is thy God, whom thou servest what? Continually. Even when I made it clear that you couldn't worship and you couldn't pray, you still did. You crazy mug, you still done it anyway. Daniel, the one that you serve, that you love more than me because I'm the king that I thought gave you everything. Now I'm realizing I didn't give you nothing because you would even pray to me because you're so in love with God. So in love with him that you were willing to open up the chambers and let everyone know what you've been doing in the secret. Because what you've been doing in the secret, you're fixing to get rewarded in the open. See, some of you have been waiting on your reward, but you ain't done nothing in the secret yet. You're great at doing it in front of everybody. Oh, hallelujah. Come on, somebody. But what you do in the secret when you got downtime? I tell you what you do. You grab that remote, you kick back in your recliner. Ain't none of you fasting because you'll eat and go to sleep. Guilty. Well, talking about me. Why y'all mad at me? And then when you even get done with that meal and you wake up from your cat nap, instead of going to pray, I'll take a bowl of cereal. You got a nutty, buddy? I'm talking about me. Don't even look at yourself. That's what I do at home, ain't it, Carmen? You know, a bowl of cereal. We got any more of them nutty, buddy? Huh? My daughter telling me to stop, but she's the worst one out of the bunch. We got any sweet cake? Well, you got in there sweet. Huh? I woke up. Hey, I'm telling on me because you guys can't be honest with yourself. But God worked on me while I was in Houston. I did it. I thought I was doing good, Tanner. Sat down the other day and woke up from my nap after my good meal. Come on, somebody. And you know how many popsicles I had? And they're jumbo. Sour ones, man, they're good. Carmen's telling me not to lie. Okay, I had 5. I lost count after the third one. I was like, who's going to the kitchen? Bring me a popsicle. Bless your father. Right? Well, that sounds silly, but you know what God got on to me about? He goes, you know what? You can't even deny a popsicle. How are you going to fight this battle I got? And I was like, one lick and bite at a time. I'll work on it tomorrow, God. Carmen, you getting up? but I'm serious. I'm serious. But the king knew what Daniel been doing. Can we really teach from the king's reaction of fasting and turning music off and praying? That tells you the high priest and all them didn't know what Daniel was doing, but that tells you the king had his ear to the door. That tells you that the high up was like, I got to find out why he's so successful. That meant that the king knew that he was a man of God that had one habit, and his habit was pray, pray, pray. And he runs down there, man. It's so beautiful. He runs to him. Then said Daniel, I love this. O king, live forever. Because Daniel got it. I went through the lines then to show everyone that I'm faithful to my God. And I'm not going to stop doing what I do in secret. And this got the king where he needed to be. O king, live forever. Next verse. Then what's he say? He gets serious. My God sent his angel. And he shut the lion's mouth. My God seen him praying in secret. And he shut the mouth of all the lions that were mouthing about him. All the lions that were there to eat him up. Oh, what the devil sent to maul you is what the devil meant for you, or what God meant for you to sleep on. Man, I believe them 3 cats lined up, 1 for a pillow, 2 on the side. Then it was like, oh, I shall lay down. You know what I'm saying? I shall take a nap. Pitch your paw right over here. I'm a little chilly. Fluff your mane. What, you don't think he didn't have fun with it? Huh? See, that's the other problem with some of you. You don't have no fun even when God's blessing you. Come on. So he fussed him up and he's laying there. Oh, king, God sent his angel. I want you to get this. He just didn't send any old angel. He sent his angel. Now, someone's going to argue with me on that. No. It's only written like this a handful of times. And the other time he sent angels. This is one of the handful that God sent his own. I want a relationship with God that I'm not just in his presence when I have a need, but I want him to be in my presence even when I don't. That when I'm going through something, I just don't get any angel. I don't want to be so close to God that he sends his. Take care of my boy. I'm fine. Shut them lines up. Don't let him get ate up. In fact, make them cover him and keep him warm. Just because he done something in the secrets place that no one can see. Are you hearing me? God made it very personal because he sent his own. Just like he sent Jesus for us. He made it so personal. How much he loved us that he sent his only begotten son. Not Lucifer, the great angel of that time. Not some other angel, not Michael. I'm just going to give you my son. Because I know this world's going to be a big lion's den. And they're going to war, and they're going to try to intimidate you. We're going to try to eat you up. But I see what you've been doing in the secret spot. I'm going to give you my best. You know, that makes you wonder, as Christians, how many times that we halfway do God and he's still giving us his best. He shut the lion's mouth and they have not hurt me. I love that. They ain't hurt me. They even shared the lamb's leg or something, and they ain't hurt me. Come on, man. Think about that. I mean, I know, man, I don't read stories like you do. When I read them, I ask God, put me in that. That kitty was over there purring the whole night. Huh? Hello, somebody. For as much before him, come on, was found in him. He was innocent. And also before thee, O King, have I done no hurt. You know what he's saying? King, I forgive you. You didn't do nothing wrong. You just fell for a trap. God's telling some of you today, you really didn't do nothing wrong. You fell for a... And I forgive you. Not me, God. Well, I do too. But, oh, it was a joke. Ha ha. Hee hee. Try that sometimes. Laughter does wonders. But think about what he's saying here. Hey, you didn't do no wrong. I know you threw me here. That's okay. I forgive you. God didn't really allow nothing to happen. You know what Daniel did when they sealed that tomb? Or that den? You know what he did? Same thing he always does. Lord, I thank you for these lines that's going to keep me warm. I thank you for using me to be the vessel to show everyone that you still are God. Lord, I thank you for something to play with while I'm laying down here for 10 hours. Huh? Thank you, Lord. I just want to be in your presence, God. I bet he didn't even pray over the lines because it says that the angel shut them up. So you know what he was in. Lord, this is so cool. I'm down here in this den. You're just so awesome. Lord, can we fill this den up with your presence? Can we make it so foggy in here, Lord? I don't know about you, but sometimes I talk to God that way, just like a child, because he tells me to come like a child. And I remember when McKenna was like, can you do this, that? One time she seen a light pole, and she goes, what's that? I said, that's what turns on the power in the house. All right? So she goes in the house. My kid's smart. Seriously, she didn't get it from me. Carmi. You know, she went in there and she flipped on that light switch. And she goes, how's that work to that house? And I done the short answer. It just does. Right? Right? Listen to me. And I go, it just does. And she goes, but really, how's it get the power? Well, there's wires behind this switch that run up here and go to a breaker. What's a breaker? Oh, crap. Here we go. This is a breaker panel. Why is there so many? Well, this one runs that. This makes sure that power gets there. Then why you got to have a breaker? In case it's overloaded, it breaks. Well, what happens if it's overloaded and that keeps it from burning up? Oh, ain't you glad God gives you breakers? Oh, so where's the power come from the breaker? I told you, the pole outside. How's that work? Oh, goodness gracious. Come outside. Come on, McKenna. You remember that? Come outside, McKenna. See that funny-looking thing right there with all them wires running in it? Yeah, that's what gives power to all the breakers. That's what runs the power through the house and all that. Where does it get its power? You see the line going to the pole that I told you about? Yeah, but where does the pole get its power? And what's that white thing on the pole? Transformer. What's the transformer do? In case it gets too heavy, it blows, so that way it don't short everything else. Oh, ain't you God gives you transformer and breakers. So where's the power come from that line? You know them great big planes that we see when we go to Pasture Cox? Has all that? That's where all that. Well, where do they get the power from that at? Son of a gun. You know, when we go down the road, you see that big thing that has all them powers, it has all that. That's them big generators. That's what does all that and all that. Where does it get its power from? I don't know no more. Is it just happen? No. It's coming from these plants over there. You know, when we're going towards Clarkville, that thing that looks like a big old, like a volcano and keeps pumping smoke. That's a nuclear reactor and blah, 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 blah. Oh, and she got it. I'm over here like, why did she have to know so much? Now looking at the story, there's one key component that she never mentioned. The hidden wires that's in the house that connected everything. Don't forget your hidden wire. Don't forget the thing that is the source for the power you need for the predicament that you're in. And you probably need to check it more than once a day. You probably, hello, are you hearing me? So check this out. You with me? Let's think back for a minute. Well, here, let me finish it because someone wants to know how it ended. And the king was excessively glad for him, commanded that he should take up Daniel out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him because Because he what? Not someone else's God, but his. So here we go. I want you to think back for one moment. For a minute. You ready? It wasn't just Daniel wasn't afraid of the lions or had some super courage or was more immortal to be able to do something. Hello? No, Daniel started a regular practice much earlier in his life. Hello? That helped him face the impossible situations. The problem is to others, prayer might not have seemed significant. Daniel, it was the discipline that shaped his story. Prayer is more important than what you're giving it credit for. Some of you wish I'd lay hands on you and everything would change. But God won't allow it sometimes because he's like, I'm waiting on them to pray. So you don't like some things. The things ain't the way you think they should be. But if you would pray and ask God, maybe you'd understand why. Because what you're doing ain't doing nothing but casting shadows over you and making you unhappy. Hello? Are you with me? As you stand. This is the cool part. And I've done this earlier, but I want to do it again because I just love this. We don't know how many years Daniel had been practicing that habit. But 3 times a day, every day, Daniel stopped and looked towards heaven and he prayed. Did you hear me? We don't know how many years. You know what that means? He could have started 2 days prior. He could have been 3 years. It could have been decades. But maybe he started as soon as he seen it was signed. But whatever it was and whenever he started, it didn't matter. That was the power source. The thing that he did that no one could see. You can't see me. That was for Jesse. He wasn't here, but it was wild. But think about this. The thing that Daniel was doing where no one could see was how he became a governor, but how he became ruler over the whole county or country, is how he got thrown in the lion's den, but that's also how the king found out who God was. The prayer that was unseen, hello, is how he didn't get hurt. So when they're talking about you, when everything's going right, pray over it. It don't hurt so bad when you pray over it. That was the key. He done something in the secret. Hello. And he done it. You know what else he did? He worshiped God in his prayer. He lined his heart up with God's heart when he prayed. Some of you need to stop praying what's on your heart. It ain't never been meant for God to do it. In your heart, you want it this way, that way, and it's going to be like this. But once you got saved, you don't go by your heartbeat. You go by God's heartbeat. Hello. So every time Daniel prayed all 3 times, you know what he did? He lined his heart up with God's. He sought God's will, not his. Not only did he seek it for a moment, but he seek it to be done his whole entire life. When's the last time you all prayed over your whole entire life to be led by God? Some of you can't pray, but from one bill to the next bill, then you want to know why everything's chaotic. I don't even pray over bills no more. Because he said he'll supply my needs. So why'd I ask for something if I don't believe in it? He just doing, come on, church. You don't know what I'm talking about. You're just missing it. Here we go. You ready? Because of Daniel's consistent and prayerful focus. Did you hear me? Some of you can't focus on God. You're never going to learn how to focus on God if you don't pray regular. Hello? Well, I focus on God. Oh, yeah, that's why, come on, you miss church on Sunday because you're focusing on a football game. Or Wednesday night, you're focusing on all that. Here's my thing that just drives me crazy. Just bugs me to death. You'll have us pray over your kids, but you won't let them come to church on Wednesday because they have school. You're more worried about man's education that's teaching them how to be in Islam than you are about bringing them to the house of God and worrying about their soul. I think you got it backwards. If you start worrying about your kids' souls and stop missing church, you won't have to worry about them falling for some false god or sleeping with every other guy that acts like or calls their kid daddy. We don't worry about Father God, Abba Father no more. Oh, I'm sorry, I go. Really? Your attendance to church will affect your prayer life. That wasn't in these notes, but that felt good. Come on. Listen. Don't laugh, you'll get me tickled. Because Daniel's consistent and prayerful focus. He was consistent. Didn't the scripture say he was honest? Come on, somebody. He grew as a God follower. You can't expect your kids all of a sudden to drop it when you don't bring them to church. You can't expect your kids to go to church when they don't see you pray and all they do is see you fight with your husband. You can't expect your family to have a good relationship with God when they don't see nothing but you bickering and talking bad about one another behind's back. That don't look Christian anyway.
That's the truth. Come on.
Someone thinks I'm being personal. You don't even know. If you pray more, you know who's really getting on your toes. It ain't pastor. Well, I pray. Yeah, and you're still chaotic. Come on. Come on. Listen. His prayer life made him grow as a God follower. So even when the world said he couldn't do it, he still did it. As a person and a leader, everything he did was what God told him to do. Not his spouse, not the school, not society. Oh, come on, somebody. Daniel wasn't an overnight success. He was able to stand tall because he faithfully kneeled before the one true king. So here you go, here's your altar call. When's the last time that you really knelt before the one true king? I'm going to get off the stage because I'm not the king. But when's the last time that you just knelt before the king because of who he was and not because of what you thought you needed? When's the last time, Christians, not you, buddy, you're good. When's the last time that you talked to your father and you bowed before him and gave him honor just because of who he was? Because most of you, if we raise your hands, probably don't pray an average of an hour a week, but you'll work a 40-hour week. And you're not even giving him a 42nd of his time in a week. But you get mad at him when it don't go your way. When my daughter don't talk to me even at 21 today, happy birthday. If she don't communicate with me, do you get anything? What's the first thing I ask you when you want something? Did you what? Pray over it. She had to think about that. I'm going to help her out a little bit. Because before I answer, did you pray over it to see if you need it or not? Don't you know anytime that you go before a king, there's always someone yelling?
Hi, everyone. Cornbread Chris Heineken here, of course, representing Resonate the Sound and Resonate Church. We do want to indeed say thank you so much for allowing us into your homes or allowing us into churches no matter where you are. Syndication, YouTube, simulcast, or just anywhere. Thank you so much for your support each and every week. Now, you're saying, hey, Cornbread, hey, Resonate Church. No, you guys have blessed us so much, but we want to turn around and bless you through the worship, through the after worship call giving. How do we do it? Here are the 4 ways in which you can resonate your giving. And here they are. Number 1, one of the ways you can do it is by joining us live right here at 418 County Road 4021, right off Highway 1 and Stadium Boulevard, right here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. During our worship experiences, Sundays, 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Wednesday nights, our chapel youth service at 6:30. That's the way to do it. Option number 2, online. You see that tithe link right there on your screen? All you have to do is just go to that tithe link and follow the directions, and you can resonate your giving online through that, the tithe. All you gotta do is just make sure you follow the directions and all of it right there. That's option number 2. Option number 3, your cell phone. We all got one. So, hey, you want to resonate your gift using your cell phone? Text the word give to that number, that 501 number that you see right there on your screen. Something called text give, and just follow the instructions right there. Option number 4, mailing. If you want to mail your contribution to us via check or money order, you can do it with the address on your screen. But let us specify this. If you're doing check or money order and you're sending it to us, please make all checks and money orders payable to Resonate Church. I'll repeat it. If you're sending a check or money order, please make the check or money order payable to Resonate Church. Those are your 4 options on which you can resonate your giving. And for more info, go to our website, resonatechurchar.org, for all the details. Hey, Tyler, what up, man?
Hey, cornbread, what's happening?
Oh, man, no thing but a barbecue wing. I got some sauce in my wing. Thanks to Resonate, though.
Resonate is bumping every Sunday, Wednesday.
It's for everybody. Come join us.
10 a.m. Sunday mornings. Come Resonate.
Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock.
Wednesday.
Chapel Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We can't wait to see you join us. 418 County Road 4021. It's right off Highway 1 to Stadium. And until we see you at Resonate, show love
And give peace. Resonate Jesus.
Oh, wow. I mean, even looking at it here on the monitor here. Wow, those are very, very excellent keys to success. Thank you, Pastor. You know, what are some of those keys to success? Well, while we do have this little spare time right here, let's dwell on that, shall we? You know I said on this program many, many times that, it's always good to be in the presence of God. And that is true, by the way. But have you ever looked at the flip side of that? Have you ever looked at our presence being so presentable? And let me specify this. I'm not talking about a dress-up party. I'm not talking about religious clothing or traditional clothing. I'm not talking anything to do with stuff on the outside. I mean, you make a choice and make a present. But what I am talking about is your heart, which is what Jesus goes after anyway. Which is what God is after anyway. Which is what the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, is after anyway. Talking about your heart. And your attitude. And your environment. Is your heart open to Him? Is your attitude something that can usher in, that can be welcoming towards Him? Is your environment so presentable? Talking in nice and tidy, clean and whatnot. We're talking from a spiritual perspective, not from a physical perspective. So stay with us. Is your heart, your attitude, and your environment so welcoming and so presentable that you want God to be inside your presence? And that's a good question to ask. And here's something that that Pastor brought up, and that we'll elaborate here on it. And that's this: David was never tired of talking to God, even if it's talking to God 3 times a day. Even though bottom line, he probably talks to him a lot more. Do you have the same attitude as Daniel? Daniel didn't care what was going on. His connection with God was so strong. Bottom line, his presence, his spiritual presence, Daniel's spiritual presence was so presentable to where God can come in and not only just dwell and to magnify himself inside of Daniel, but it's good enough to where they both connected. Is your life the same way? See, that's the key to success. And if you really want me to shorten all of that down, I know I get made fun of a lot of times when I say this, but the key to it is seeking God early. Even as early in the morning. Because when you wake up, when you seek Him, success follows. The key to success is God first in everything. That's the ultimate key. That's the key to it. That's key to marriage. That's key to family life. That's key to spiritual life. That's key to work life. That's key to everything. God first. And when you have God first, you watch success from a spiritual standpoint ends up right there where you are. Thank you so much for watching. God, first and foremost, thank you for letting us resonate your sound. We're right back here. Oh yeah, we told you we'll have a special programming note, and here it is. We've been granted 2 bonus episodes, especially 2 bonus Sunday episodes. And they come your way on Sunday, September 6th and Sunday, September 13th. Both are at our Sunday times of 11 p.m. Eastern for our YouTube simulcast, and for our syndication viewers, you'll have it after your late local news. That's September 6th and 13th. Both are on Sundays, but we got bonus Resonate Sound episodes coming right at you. In fact, we got one coming up this Sunday. So, until we join you this Sunday, or until you join us this Sunday, for our senior lead pastors, Brian and Carmen Adams, for our entire staff and everyone here at Resonate, I'm Chris Honigan. We say to you, show love, give peace, resonate Jesus. Join us this Sunday night. We'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody.
You know